What's up, guys? Business is booming as usual. We're live. I'll wait till a couple of you guys start popping in. This is just going to be a fun Q&A that I'm doing once a week. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this. Get a little bit more inside, in depth with me. You could ask me anything you want. Of course, we got the Boomachino right here and the Wizard of Oz mug. I'll always have a little Boomachino with me on set. Um, and yeah, I mean, we'll get straight to it. I mean, pretty unfortunate news. My fight was postponed. My COVID test came positive. So I'm pretty much up in my room here, relaxing. And, I don't feel any symptoms, which is good. And I honestly think it's a false positive. I mean, all my corners were negative. My brother, my dad were negative. All the people I was close corners with. I mean, my girlfriend shares you know, uses the same damn toothpaste as me, and she's negative. She gets tested every other day at work, essentially, because she's an essential worker. So I don't know, pretty crazy circumstances, but I feel great. No symptoms for me, and I hope, God willing, it stays like that. And my Boomachino still tastes delicious. So I guess that's a good sign, right? Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. But if you go ahead and ask any questions you want, we'll get to the Q&A. We'll post them up, and we'll get responding. No fights for a little while, so that's gonna be kind of weird, right? And the next card was supposed to be the one I was supposed to be on. That's January 16th. Then we got the 20th. Then we got the 23rd. So it feels weird without fights, because usually they're just banging them out week to week. But today's beautiful. Nice day out especially for this time of the year. It's like 50 out there, so that's good. Yeah, so if you got something for me, hit me with it and we'll get straight to it. Um, I heard the weight cut was giving you problems a while back. Is that still the case? No, man. I mean, to be honest, weight cuts just suck. I'm just a very honest person. I'm going through the struggle. 2 months of strict diet and sacrifices and kind of, not being able to live your life like a normal person is hard sometimes. Sometimes it's mentally draining. But nonetheless, my weight was struggling to come down compared to my own weight cuts in the past. So I think I was just kind of stressing it. You know what I mean? I don't think I was crazy heavy for a bantamweight. I just think that I was stressing it because I'm used to being a little bit lighter. I'll tell you exactly how it went. I mean, I was about 158, where about 3.5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and that's okay. But like, I really was struggling to break under like 156, 155. And I was putting in work. I was eating clean for like 3 weeks. After that, I was training harder. I was peaking, and I was like, you know what? I had to have lost like a significant amount. Kept getting on the scale, seeing the same number, so that's demoralizing. You keep getting on the scale after putting in these extra changes and talking to the dietitian and sticking to the meals, the trifecta meals, all that stuff. Like, I'm seeing the same number, so I'm like, what the fuck can I do? Essentially, like, I got to make 135, and here I am. And, typically for me, everyone's different. I personally like to sit around 150, 149 when it comes to being like 3 weeks out from my fight. And this time around, I was about 153, 152, barely. Just got to 152 about a week ago, not even. And that was a struggle, and I was essentially looking at it like, well, it looks like it's going to be a bigger cut for me than typical. Typically I'm showing up fight week 149, 148, even at best 147, and that's where I know I'm within range and I'm not going to have a terrible cut, and I'm going to make it. I know 100%. Now, when you're talking showing up at 150 or above, I don't really know what that's like. So I'm stressing, maybe I won't make it. Now you're going to lose 20% of your purse, all this shit. So, you start overthinking that shit. But honestly, I was doing the best I could. And I still think I would have made weight and it would have been fine. But it had nothing to do with that. I was ready to go, man. Honestly, as far as physicality and as far as the fight went, I was fucking ready. I was in peak shape. I was, had my best sparring session the last, couple weeks. I felt great in there. I was mentally correct, reading books that, talking to a sports psychologist, doing all the right things, you know what I mean? So I felt good. Hopefully they can rebook the fight. I'm waiting to hear back. I text Shelby, my manager is obviously talking to them. I'm really hoping that they rebook this fight because I know you guys wanted to see this fight. I wanted this fight. I think Ricky Simon and me are, made for a really exciting fight for you guys. So yeah, exactly. I mean, this is happening to a lot of fighters. And in my situation, it's bizarre because I'm I came up positive, but my main training partner who was in my corner negative. My striking coach who I've been hitting mitts with, you know, grunting and sniffling and all that good shit. He's negative. My girlfriend's negative. She gets tested twice a week. I'm sleeping same bed with her. Like it's really weird. If it's that contagious and I am positive, you would think that others would be positive too, but it's kind of an anomaly and we don't know. I'm honestly trying to get another test. I'm going to try to get a rapid test tomorrow. See what that says. I know those are a little less accurate than the PCR test. And then Monday, I'm scheduled for another PCR test. Hopefully that comes back negative. And if that's the case, I can at least get back to training and then, get ready for February. So it's interesting you say that, man. For me, it's probably the longer strikers. Um, the goal for someone like us, when you're fighting someone that's longer and a solid striker is to get inside. And I'm very good at getting inside, and forward pressure is part of my game, my style. But at the same time, those guys are harder to get inside. It's harder to utilize that style. You really have to enforce that and take risks. If you stay on the outside for a little bit too long, you're going to get picked apart. And if they know how to use their reach, it's going to be difficult. But also the shorter guys, probably a little bit harder to take down, leverage wise and stuff like that. But I feel like I have an easier time striking with the shorter guys. And an easier time maybe wrestling with the taller guys. But it all varies. Honestly, it really depends on style. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it, man. Hope all is well. Happy New Year. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that as well. But yeah, man, I mean, styles make fights. For me, it's it always changes. I mean, someone like a John Lineker, he's short and stocky. I had a lot of trouble with him, but I had a lot of success as well. I wouldn't say that was the best me out there, but also I had a lot of strikes land in that fight. I had an exciting fight. I had a good performance, I would say, but I lost. And I had trouble fighting a guy like that, and taking a guy like that down. But like then you got guys like Montel Jackson, who it's just like he knows how to use his range and his kicks, and he's got long ass arms. It's hard to get inside. Man, bantamweight stacked right now. I want to see Aljo versus Jan. I would love to see Dominic Cruz versus like maybe a Frankie Edgar. I think he's fighting Casey Kenny. That's going to be a sick fight. I mean, that's a big fight for Casey Kenny, to make a name off of Cruz. Also, I think that's a fight that Cruz can win stylistically. So that might be why he took that fight. But it's kind of a weird match, made right there. I was kind of like surprised at that fight. But I would love to see Marab fight Cody Stamen. I know they were supposed to fight. I fought Stamen. I like Marab a lot. He's awesome. I get to train with him here and there and spar with him. He's a savage. So I'd like to see those two stylistically fight. Who else? Who? Give me some names. What do you guys think? Who? Give me some matchups you'd like to see at bantamweight. I think I'd like to see um Corey Sandhagen versus Dominic Cruz. That'd be a sick fight right there with both those guys. You know, Corey Sandhagen kind of looking up to Cruz coming up and his style and everything with all his movement. I would like to see Pedro Munoz is fighting Jimmy Rivera. That's a sick fight right there, and that's a rematch, right? They fought in the past, so that's definitely a big fight. But I'm really looking forward to Poirier Connor, that rematch. You know, I think Poirier's made a lot of improvements since way back then, you know, and fighting at 55 is different for him. I think that's like, a way better situation. Um, but then again, Connor looks motivated as ever in camp right now. I mean, his like if you're following his social media, he definitely looks like he's like focused, taking it serious. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does the same thing. You know, maybe a little bit later, maybe second, third round, but definitely wouldn't be surprised. Holloway and Cater is sick. Um, and honestly, that card, I think I was going to be on the main card, so I'm kind of disappointed because I know they're going to be on ABC network television. So I'm kind of pissed off I missed out on that. But I'm also kind of feeling like maybe everything happens for a reason. And, Fight Island's difficult, man. You got to go there and deal with the time change and the quarantines and everything like that. It affects you, or it could affect you, And I'm probably gonna end up fighting in Vegas in February, so that'll make things a little bit simpler. But we'll see. Yeah, that's a great fight. Nathaniel Wood looked good in his last fight, man. Him and Casey Kenny put on a fucking war. That was awesome, and really could have gone either way. I feel like, but Casey Kenny kind of edged him. Just landed the more brutal shots, I feel. But yeah, that's a good matchup right there. I'll definitely watch that. Just have strong footwork, definitely work on your sprawl and, taking the back game. Maybe keeping that lead hand a little bit lower if need be, but that's only if you're comfortable doing that. I wouldn't advise that to everybody. That sometimes can help you dig those underhooks and stop takedowns. Work on your frames, have a short, stocky guy shoot in on you a lot. Maybe have, your sparring partners utilize a lot of level changes to keep you, honest and stuff like that. Be fast on that front leg, you know what I mean? Don't get sloppy with like these little leg, tap leg kicks and stuff like that, because guys are gonna catch your kicks and run through you and take you down. So yeah, man. I think Uriah Faber, he's a legend. I love that guy. He's a good dude, but I'd love to fight him. I'm trying to think. Frankie Edgar, another legend at 35. Um, and then I mean, you got to go the champ Peter Yan, right? I mean, that's probably the only other one I could think of right now. But that's not really like, well, yeah, I guess you could put that on the bucket list, right? Who doesn't want a fucking belt on the bucket list? Yeah, those are those are good fights. I don't think Sean O'Malley would ever fight Marab. Worst stylistic matchup for him. Barcelos is a dark horse in the division. Him versus Casey Kenny, that's an awesome matchup. I like that a lot. Cody Stamen, Marlon Moraes, yeah, I like that a lot. I think Marab was gonna fight Barcelos too, and that would have been a sick fight, but that never happened. Yeah, man. Honestly, I could honestly say right now, I feel great. God willing, I stay like this. I don't know when or if this is a false positive or when I contracted it or what, but everybody else, like I said, around me has been negative. My brother, my training partners, my coaches, my dad. I'm gonna get retested, see what happens. The UFC unfortunately can't take retests, so my fight is off, guaranteed. But what they said is that they will turn you around quickly. So I'm just hoping that February 3rd, February 7th, 13th, I think there's a card. One of those cards they got to get me on. That's what I'm hoping. I wouldn't say that. I don't know what you mean really by overestimating, but I think people are definitely looking too deep into the first fight and comparisons to this fight coming up. But at the same time, it is true that fighters have a hard time getting rid of those memories of, man, don't get hit with that left hand, don't get caught again. This guy has power, blah, blah, blah. Poirier might be thinking like that, but I think Poirier has grown leaps and bounds, even mentally as well. So I don't think that he's going to be going in there scared or lackluster, hesitant. I think he's been through a lot of wars since that fight that he's built his confidence up. He's going to come out swinging, pressure, heavy boxing. He's gotten a lot better, but Connor's confident too, and I think he's in a good mind space, which is definitely scary, because I think he fell out of that for a while, but now he's back in that space of, I want to be a savage and I want to show that I'm the best guy. So that's the Connor we want to see fight. So I think it makes for a great fight, but I wouldn't say people are overestimating him. I think just people see that he's motivated again. So they think if he got Poirier that first time, Connor's punches are different, man. When he hits people, they get hurt, So Poirier's been hurt in a lot of fights. So I think it's definitely warranted. I got the Christmas blend. I went to Target. Starbucks was backed up. I don't know if you guys know about that Christmas blend, not the holiday blend. The holiday blend is Thanksgiving. It's a little bit different. I'm like a coffee connoisseur. I wait for the Christmas blend because I love dark roast. This is like a nice dark roast, clean, pure, delicious, chocolatey. I don't know how to say it, but Christmas blend is one of my favorite blends. And I bought a couple bags of those because they're going to go out quick because they're only seasonal. So get you some Christmas blend. I should get paid for that ad, right? That's a good question because I'm kind of dealing with that right now with this circumstance. You can't really go out and about. So I would say running is key. If, unfortunately, I live in a cold climate here in Long Island. So, but beautiful day today. I was able to get a run outside. That's probably the best bet you could do is run long distance. Circuit training, if you can get a bike, do some sprints, mix it with shadow boxing. I got some egg weights. If you got, any kind of things you could utilize at home, battle ropes, medicine ball slams. I'm not big on weightlifting. I feel like I don't really lose much weight. I don't really burn as much calories and get a good sweat. I will lift weights if I'm really far out from a fight. Honestly, I only really strength train, like weight lift train right after fights if I'm healthy and I want to kind of get away from the MMA, just kind of reset and refuel. I'll go to the regular gym and I'll do some weight training, but mainly my strength training is tire slam, tire flips, sprints, shadow boxing mixed with incline treadmill sprints, airdyne bike, jump rope, bag work, long distance running, swimming, stuff like that. I mean, that's probably your best bet. Man, I think you got to go Kevin Holland. I mean, the guys that he beat and how active he was. I mean, the way that he beat Jacare like that was beast. There's a couple though. I think him. I think for sure Davison Figueredo has to be in there. I mean, the guys looked amazing at flyweight. He's pretty much revamped the division, and he is becoming a star. His aura of the bad guy and his power that he packs at flyweight is like devastating. And that fight with Moreno was amazing, and I can't wait to see that rematch. So definitely those two are up there. I don't know who else. What do you guys think? Who's the fighter of the year? It's kind of controversial because it's like who you beat, how many wins you have, how those wins looked, were the stakes in those fights. There's a lot that comes in play. Yeah, I mean, I bundle up and I get it done. It's not the best vibes running in the cold, breathing in that cold ass air, but If you can get a good treadmill at your house, you could utilize that for anything. I like mixing it up. I get bored doing long distance anything, especially at a slow pace like that. So I do enjoy running outside. I love it in the summer. But if I'm inside and I had a treadmill, I would do like an interval workout where I run for maybe 30, 45 seconds, then I shadow box for 30 seconds hard, and then I do, some kind of a sprint on an Airdyne bike, and then I do a ball slam, and then I go back to the running, and I kind of have like 4 stations and just keep cycling through that for like 45 minutes, and I get a good kind of interval session like that. That's probably my favorite thing because I don't get bored. Dude, Holland was talking that shit early on, and then he backed it up big time because he was like remember when he first came into the UFC, Dana White was like loudmouth this and that, and he was on the Contender Series and he didn't really like him, and then he just showed up, man, and he was just putting guys out. And honestly, like I didn't really look at Holland as like a big threat until I started paying more attention, and you started seeing the way he was fighting guys, confident, fast, unorthodox, getting finish after finish. Like, guy has power in his hands, and he's not the biggest guy at middleweight either. Like, he's not really, he walks around like pretty close to the weight, I think. So he definitely had an amazing year. I was trying to keep up with him. I'll be honest. I mean, I got like, I fought 4 times in 2020, but I was down to fight like 6 times. Like, I tried to step in short notice a couple more times. I tried to fight Ricky Simon. The first time we were supposed to fight, his cornerman tested positive. That was in August. I was trying to fight him in September, and then he fell out, and that's when I ended up fighting Ray Rodriguez. But I was trying to fight again in November with him, but they pushed the fight to this year, and now we're dealing with this bullshit. So here we are. See if we got any Twitter questions. We got texts, people asking me how I'm doing and all that nonsense. Well, it's not nonsense. I love you guys. Thank you for checking in on me. I appreciate that. It's nice of you. Shows the true colors. I don't tend to get a lot of Twitter questions in, but let's see if we got any here. Because you guys know you just pop right in on here and it's all over with. Yeah. Nothing crazy on here. But yeah, so that's about that. Thank you guys for tuning into the live, Q&A. Business is booming, like I said. Um there's not much I could do right now, man. Um just kind of hanging out and trying to play the waiting game and present a negative test so I can get back to the gym. One more question and then we'll get out of here. One or two more questions and we'll get out of here. Guys, give the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up while you're here. I really appreciate that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. We got to grow this channel. I'm trying to do this every week. The Business is Booming podcast, Q&As. Yeah, I feel like that's the funnest way to do it. Just do a live Q&A and just kind of go off the cuff. So with the house, I'm actually almost at the closing. We're at the appraisal part. Then we go to the closing. Maybe this is part of the plan that God had for me. I don't know, because I was gonna be gone on my way to Fight Island while my girlfriend was essentially closing on the house and all that. So it's kind of nice if I can close with her, set up the couch and the house and get the bed in there and get things going, and then kind of settle in. I got the sauna. I got wrestling mats for the 2-car garage. It's the boom room, baby. We got mats. We got a wall mat. I got a 3-person infrared sauna. We're gonna get a hot tub. I got the hexagon squat bar. We got ball slams, kettlebells, all that stuff. We're gonna deck out the gym. I can't wait for that. But yeah, it should be in the next couple weeks. I am Honestly, man, if I'm healthy, I'm always trying to take as many fights as possible. Um, I don't see why you should kind of sit around. I think momentum's powerful, especially coming off a win. A lot of my fights get finished early like that in the first round. A couple of submissions I had last year. That's why I was like, why sit out? You know what I mean? You could make as many paychecks as possible. And now with the house coming, why not? Like I want to keep getting wins in and get new contracts and stuff like that. So of course I'm gonna stay active as possible. You know, I think Jose Aldo is probably the bigger fight. I think that's where the way they're going to go. I think that's also a little bit more favorable for TJ. I think they're going to want him to kind of bounce back, get his name back going, get that momentum rolling, then put him in a title shot. So I think Aldo is probably a better stylistic matchup for Dillashaw, and I think the UFC will look for that one first. Definitely. I think Font will maybe get someone like maybe he'll get the winner of Munoz Edgar. I mean Munoz and Rivera. That's an option. Maybe he will get the loser of Sanhagen Edgar, something like that. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Font, but he's up there now. Hey, that's what I'm saying, man. Everything happens for a reason, right? It could be for good things. Got to stay positive. That's the best way right now. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm down to have some guests. I gotta kind of get this going a little bit more. I think I kind of just like doing it, on my own for now, especially with the Q&As. But I think if I break down some fight cards, I'm always welcome to have some guests on here. So, I've been the guest on multiple podcasts, James Lynch, the MMA fighting, that podcast breaking down the fights, all those things. So, yeah, I've been making the rounds in the media. So now I'm kind of trying to do my own thing, build my channel, but also I think it'd be good to have people on my channel as well, kind of be the host. Don't think I'm a great host. I'd rather be the guest, but it is what it is. You gotta kind of take control of your channel and grow it. So I'm definitely looking to team up and try to break down some fights with some other guys in the media, and I think it'd be fun. I think that for the Conor McGregor card, I'm going to be breaking it down with odds.com. One of the guys over there from theirs, we're going to get together and break down the Conor card. So look out for that. But yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Business is booming, baby. Boom.